This is where the fun begins.
Dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Check.
What is? Hey, yeah, check. 1 2 1 2 3. By the way, Anthony, we could hear you, and hopefully you can hear us. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Sithcast podcast, a Star Wars podcast where we pretty much talk anything and everything Star Wars. I'm one of your hosts, PJ the Paradox Nerd, alongside. Oh wait, he's not here. Sean is actually. He is out of town, literally out of town. So he's got some jobs that he's taking care of. So he'll be back next week. So Sean, if you're listening or you're out there, we miss you.
Yeah, sorry to miss you, man.
Yeah, man. But anyways, we still have a great show tonight. We got a returning special guest. We got Dewback Deliveries, aka Jason. And Dewback is actually also from Spice Runners Lounge. So, Jason, I know it's been a minute, but glad to have you back on the show, man. Glad to have you back.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Excited to hang out and talk Star Wars.
Yes. We also have the Sithcast holocron himself, Anthony, aka BMX Jedi. Hopefully, Anthony, he's been having some technical difficulties. Can you hear us, Anthony? Yes, no, maybe. All right.
It's like having the episode 3 fight with Yoda, where it gets real close up on the Emperor when the lightning is glaring, and then he backs off, comes in.
Oh, yeah. Oh man, we're hitting the ground running tonight. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, while Anthony gets his audio, fixed there, we're just going to, man, Jason, I have to say, man, I don't know if you watched episode 3. It was a tough one. I was hoping that I will never ever get a chance to experience that episode. I guess you could say, but
You thought this being the penultimate episode to the season finale, this would just be a banger, just be nailing it.
Yeah, I was like, this is it. This is the end of it. Yeah. But anyway, we'll talk.
We did get Wookiee with lightsaber, so let's give it some credit.
Yes. But that's, I guess, for me at least, not enough. But we'll talk. We'll reserve our opinions for later. But I know the last time we had you on, we got to know you as a Star Wars fan, a Star Wars collector, loving the background and seeing a lot of new things there. So awesome. But I do want to talk about the other stuff that you do on the side. By the way, guys, if you want to check out Jason, aka Dewback Deliveries, please check him out on Spice Runners Lounge.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
We can. Hey, Anthony.
All right. Good deal.
All right. Awesome.
All right.
He's back. He's back.
He's here.
Sithcast Holocron himself is back. But
rest in peace, Rhaenys.
Oh yes.
Spoiler alerts.
Spoiler alerts. Rest in peace.
It's been 3 days.
Yeah. I guess it's a 3-day. Well, I tried to use that 3-day rule when I was, dating back then. Never worked.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan of that either.
Yeah, I would call and
I thought it was lame and gay.
Yeah. But no one ever no one ever answers the phone. But anyway, luckily my wife did. Whew. Anyway, hey now. So so please check out Dewback Deliveries on Instagram. I'll put his link in the chat. But yeah, Jason, ever since I saw your, I guess you could say your profile picture, your YouTube profile picture, I was just like, because I'm a big, huge Dewback fanatic. I love Dewbacks. I just love the design of it. I love the way they look. Played a lot of like Star Wars games, rode the Dewback. on those games. So yeah, you do amazing artwork.
It's a great design because I think it's one of those things that feels like it could be a prehistoric creature in our universe.
Yes.
So the fact that you had very limited focus on this character or this creature in episode 4, and it's had such staying power, I think is a testament to the design and just the cool, landscape that it was trudging through.
Yeah.
So I just love it. I haven't drawn enough of them, but yeah, the profile pic, that was one of my first pieces I did in Procreate on the iPad Pro, and I'd never really done a fully finished piece, but it was the due back.
Oh, dude, if you do one, I'm definitely on it, like white on rice, or brown on rice, depending on your diet. But yeah, sorry, dad joke. But anyways, yes. So please check them out. I know you did something cool for the Spice Runners Lounge.
Yeah, there's another post with it not framed where it's just the closer up. If you want to go to that one, it's a little bit earlier. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was after you had John C on your show, and I've always loved this design of Boba and the introduction of Boba, and I was like, I just need something to kind of stretch my normal practices and do a finished piece. I do a lot of pieces that I start and I don't finish, but I've just had such a love for the holiday special Boba that I was like, this will be a fun one to do, and we did a exclusive print run for Spice Runners Lounge that the members got, but I did a few one-offs without the Spice Runners logo. I may do a few more if people are interested.
Yeah. So if someone's interested in picking up this art print, and by the way, what is the size on this print?
This one I've gotten up to an 11 by 14 inch print. Could probably go larger if somebody wants it larger, but yeah, it's a high res digital. It's all digital, so it prints pretty good at a large scale. But yeah, 11 by 14 is probably the largest I'd want to go with it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's amazing. If someone wants to buy this print, where can they, reach you? Is it through the Instagram or?
Yeah, that's the best route to go. Just message me there or join Spice Runners Lounge Facebook group and message me on that platform.
Okay.
Pretty accessible.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. So this is your first print. Is there any more in the works or hoping
a lot maybe... of I kind of get sidetracked doing cartoons and goofy stuff. Like if you go a little bit lower, there's a Mando one there that was kind of inspired by this show, up a couple notches.
Oh, sorry.
No, right above there it is. Black and white. Yeah. So a lot of times I'm just doing stuff for gags and cartoons because that's where I started out, was doing cartooning. And so, I don't ever produce something thinking I'm going to print it or give it out to other people. So it's just been so cool to me that people actually like my artwork and want to have it in their homes. So yeah, no other prints that are planned just now, but I've got a list of Star Wars ideas I want to illustrate. So more to come for sure. But right now it's just a hobby.
By the way, we do know someone here, Sean Solo. He loved this. So I think he loves the fact that Grogu's in there with the Mandalorian armor. See, he's been lying to us this whole time. And Jar Jar. So I was really shocked that he actually loved this this picture.
It's that second panel. Yeah, if you go to the second panel, you'll see Jar Jar on there.
Yeah. Excuse me. So
it's Anthony's favorite too, I can tell.
Yes, it is Anthony's favorite. That's good.
Honestly, he didn't really bother me that bad. When I was younger, I hated the Ewoks. I couldn't stand them. And
sure.
Basically, I just took it like he was the new version of the Ewoks. That's all.
Yeah.
I didn't even let it bother me. I was like, it's just that's the kid thing in it.
Yeah.
Let's slaughter younglings and I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks, J2.
J2, what's up, Jason? By the way, let's address the chat real quick before we move on. The collector number 1. By the way, huge mistake. Of course, I did it again. I'm like Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. I put it for 8:05 a.m. What a dumbass. I'm sorry, guys. But
the people waiting since this morning.
Yeah, the collector number 1. I'm so sorry. I think he messaged at 8:13 a.m.
Yeah, I held off going to work this morning.
Shoot. I mean, Anthony lost money because he was waiting to hop on.
I had to charge people double.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Sorry. I'll make it up to you, man.
That's what she said.
Oh boy. We're hitting the ground running. We got Jason, J2SO. What's up, Jason?
What's up, brother?
We got
to
Flex
hang
in
with
the
him on
house.
Saturday. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to share that picture in just a minute. Dark Sauron. He's feeling what I'm feeling. All righty. Oh, Power Mini cancellation. Oh. Man, that song. Okay. Anyway, all right. I got. Oof,
Hey,
sidetracked.
let me say one thing real quick. Do any of y'all know Chris Gore?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually met him. So
Okay. So next Wednesday, he is doing a funeral service for Star Wars, and he wants people to submit videos like condolences for Star Wars passing, wear black, cry, make a big deal of it.
Our man.
And he's gonna post it on his Twitter.
Oh shoot! Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can make your videos and just hashtag. Well, go to his YouTube channel or his Twitter account, and then he'll basically tell you what to do.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I love Chris
Awesome.
Gore. He's cool.
He's super cool. I know he was. I'm not sure. I forgot the name of that website that he was promoting back then. It was like a collector type of website where
He does Film Threat now.
Yeah, it does Film Threat now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, he used to be with G4 and
Yep.
G4.
He just had a stroke too, like 2 months ago.
Oh,
Really?
shoot.
Yeah,
Damn.
he had a pretty debilitating stroke, but he's back at it.
Yeah,
he was in
oh.
Vegas with the Nerdrotic team, and he had a stroke. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I love Chris Gore. And he was, I've been following Chris Gore for quite some time, especially remember he was in G4. Did he do MTV? He didn't do MTV. I know he was in Chris Gore. He did the movie thing, right? With the DVDs and stuff. And I used to follow him all the time. So yeah, Chris Gore, shout out to him. He's a great guy. We got Jeff's in the house. What's up, Jeff? Hey, Jeff. I got something I sent something your way. Hopefully you like it. Please don't throw it out, but it's on its way. So hopefully you get it soon and hopefully you like it. And also, if you do get it, please share it in the Spice Runners Lounge.
Heck yeah.
Okay, cool, man. I just wanted to share this. Dude, I had this Death Trooper premium format. I had it. I freaking had it.
You sold it?
No, I freaking returned it. You know,
what?
That
you know what it is?
Fail.
Well, here, yes, this is why I fail. I'll tell a brief story real quick. So I did get the special edition with the D19 DLT.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah,
the long rifle. Yeah,
with the long rifle, the mini changeouts with the helmet, and I loved it. But there was like a little ding on his leg, right?
Oh.
And with the Death Trooper, it's all black, so a little ding you could notice it, right?
Yeah, but that's battle damage.
It's white. I don't know, unless someone has been, whatever in the battlefield. But anyway, yeah. So I reached out to Sideshow at the time, and I say, hey, and by the way, I did a review on it on my YouTube channel. I'm not trying to promote that, but anyway, I did a review. I just remember when I was filming that review, it was such a pain in the ass to put together. The grenades, everything. It was just such a pain in the ass. I remember. So long story short, I reached out to Sideshow. I was like, Sideshow, can you just send me the just send me the legs, right? Because that's all I need. I don't want to send the whole thing. They were like, no, you got to send the whole disassemble the whole statue, put it in a box and send. I'm like, please, you must have like an extra legs laying around somewhere. I'm sure you do. I just don't want to send the whole thing back. It's such a pain in the ass to put together.
Well, especially this one. There's so many areas that you got to plug stuff into because it's got a lot of accessories and components, and it's a nightmare.
Yes, and the little like ammo pouch that he has on the shoulder pad or a shoulder armor, dude, that was a pain. I just remember I was just like, I can't go through this again. I can't go through the motion of putting this statue together again. So I just returned it. I should have just sucked it up. And anyway, long story short.
Joel would have fixed it for you.
I know. I should have just not. So I should have swallowed my pride here. But anyway, beautiful collection, man. You got the Tauntaun. You got some really holy grails here. You got excuse me. You got the Rancor. This is a
Celebration
Gentle
2019 pickup.
This is Gentle Giant, right?
Yeah, but found it at Star Wars Celebration 2019 in Chicago.
Yeah, dude. What a whew, beautiful.
Yeah, I
and you
love it.
got the art print in the background to match.
Yeah, it's got a cell. It's got a film cell from a production film.
Another Gentle Giant Grail.
Love
This
this
is a
one.
Scout Trooper. Look how the design of this thing is, man.
In
Beautiful.
fact, this thing is holding up by that one leg, and it got it sitting over there. It is not leaning. It's not succumbing to gravity. It's well designed. It's a great piece.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably. I'm assuming the peg is like all the way from here, all the way, and go
Yep.
all the way up to his.
Yeah, but it
body.
looks like it's friggin' floating. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Beautiful piece, man.
Now, does the speeder bike peg into his leg?
Into the bum, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome, man. Here's the Vader. I actually had this Vader until I upgraded to the. Well, I wouldn't say upgraded. I got the Iron Studios Vader.
Oh,
And-
on throne. Okay.
No. The one where he.
Oh, the Hoth. Yeah, that thing is.
Yeah,
cool.
Oh, that's my favorite.
It is a better piece than this. I'll give it to you.
Yes and no. I still miss this piece, man. And I just remember a lot of people were giving this piece a lot of flack because the way his pose was, but it's obviously those people didn't get it. I had this piece and I loved it. The red saber, the light up feature on it was beautiful. The base lit up, and dude, I love this piece, man.
You know what's amazing is it takes on a totally different look when you elevate it. So like I have mine at eye level sitting over here. And my boy Evan, founder of the Spice Runners, he's got it up high. So you're doing like a worm's eye view and he's got him flanked by the Royal Guard PFs. And it's like, I mean, it takes on a totally different presence at that angle and with the Royal Guards to the left and right. It's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we got more here. This is your
yeah, this was
here.
the California setup before I moved, and I've actually added more stuff now. Thought I was gonna, downsize, but I've actually upsized. But yeah, these are just some Black Series helmets, except for the top one, which is
sounds so familiar. Sounds like Sean. I'm not gonna get anything. I'm done, man. I'm done. Oh,
I got a hole over the garage. I was like, well, shoot, gotta fill it.
Sean's
so this was the dining room in the last house.
Oh, nice. Sean's like, Luke Skywalker, Red 5. What? Sold.
I got a funny story about that conversation the other day.
Okay. Yeah. Look at this, man. Beautiful setup, man. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where did you get the Tauntaun one? That one's kind of rare.
That was probably back in 2015. It was last one, I think, on Big Bad Toy Store.
Yeah.
And Luke, I think I got off Sideshow, but it was at the tail end of it, and it was kind of at that point where I was like, you know what? Who cares? I gotta bite the bullet on some of these things because you can't find them anymore. And that was one I was surprised they still had it. So.
Moth McClunky, what's up, Moth McClunky Milsa Move? Who's the best person to fix statues? I might need something done. I do know someone. He charges like dirt cheap, and we call him the statue doctor because he can fix literally anything. Nice. Like you won't even. He's a great restoration like statue artist or whatever you want to call him. But yeah,
and that's a good option. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that and what's the other option, Jason?
No, I was saying that's a good option if you want to have somebody fix it for you. But if you just need tips on maybe how to fix it, our boy Joel Hazy will be more than happy to give you some recommendations on how to fix it yourself.
Yeah. Shout out to Joel from Hazy Customs. We got Eben in the house. Lord of the Sith premium format is fantastic.
Hey, brother.
And you know what has an edition size of 7,000? And people say, oh, it's never going to sell out. Never going to sell out. But guess what? It sold out.
It took some time.
It took some time, but I mean, it finally did. But it's a good piece. But yeah, this is a beautiful collection there.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Good setup there. Oh, we got some more helmets here.
Yep. Death Trooper again, the Nissan Rogue exclusive got off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. And And
I saw a Nissan
Nice.
Rogue the other day going down the road, and it said Nissan Rogue 1.
oh
that's-
yeah, that's when they were and
Yeah.
it came with the helmet. So
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
here is Jason, and this is his you see his art print in the back. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate the feature.
Yeah, cool collection, man. Awesome collection.
Thank
And yeah, please reach out to Do Back Deliveries. Again, I'll put if I didn't do it, I'm doing it now. I'll put his link to his Instagram. Give him a follow. Hit him up if you want to check out his prints. Also, if you can, just to support the channel, just hit that like button. Again, I feel like the guys in the streets, like with the little sign Venmo me. We're not asking for Venmo. Just hit that like button. All right, so let's get to it. Oh boy, I don't even know where to start, guys. I don't even know where to start. Jason, I know you mentioned in the backstage you didn't get a chance to watch it, but I guess you got a recap of it.
Yeah, yeah,
channel.
and so I can't really objectively say what I thought about it, so I'll kind of abstain. But it
Mhm.
from what I heard and from the synopsis I got, which was kind of a scene by scene breakdown, it seems like it's got some of the same writing challenges and kind of build up through the episode storytelling in 30 minutes or so that the other episodes have been challenged with. And
Mhm.
for me, one episode to go, I'm just disappointed. Again, no hate for anything Star Wars. I do appreciate having Star Wars in our lives. I just wish it was better written Star Wars and a little more thought out. It hasn't been as politically driven a show as I was anticipating it was being, so I'm happy about that.
Mhm.
I just don't think that the people that have been charged with this great task of keeping up the property that we know and love and being faithful to it have done a good job of that. And just from a creative standpoint, I don't think there are people working and contributing to the show other than the actors who I think are really doing their best, but the material they're given is just subpar. And from a storytelling perspective, I can't find anything. I've tried to really be welcoming of the show, but despite the canon flaws and the character flaws, I just don't have any character that I'm rooting for. There are no character arcs. It's just nonsensical writing and storytelling from episode to episode. And I wish I could turn my brain off and just kind of let it wash over me, because Star Wars is dumb popcorn fun, but it didn't think its audience was dumb. And I feel like this is aiming for something that it thinks is high grade art, and it doesn't even recognize how to be just a good fun time, and that's its biggest failing to my mind. So again, we'll keep an open mind for the end of the show, but for me, yeah, it's just been nothing that I could really get excited about or comfortably get through. Every week it's like, all right, let's kind of slog through the episode here, and again, taking politics and social issues aside, it's just not good storytelling, and it's just not good character development.
Wow, well said. That was probably the most like one of the best opinions I've ever heard about this show. Is it wasn't like, like me, I'm at fault most of the time about trashing the show, expressing my distaste for it, and obviously I let my emotions get the best of me. But you said it well, man, and yeah, it's I'm definitely with you about the show, especially with this high of a budget. You kind of expected a lot. It
Yep.
is with Disney. Disney has a lot of, like I've always been saying it, a lot of resources, a lot of um, you know, uh,
They could do
financial
anything they
support.
want. I mean,
Yes.
production wise, acting wise, writing wise, and it feels like it's just casting talent
Mm,
rather than. It seems like they're casting for agenda purposes rather than talent and merit based purposes to
mm,
create something that is harkening back to what we loved about this franchise.
yeah.
And that's been one of my biggest issues. Is I'm not opposed to exploring different ideas and seeing the Jedi through a different lens. But it seems like when we got, in the prequels, which I've enjoyed more as I've gotten older, but we've already seen the Jedi start kind of their
Mm-hmm.
downfall, right? We haven't seen that period that Obi-Wan originally harkened back to, that we were all just drawn in by, which was the nobility, grace, and grandeur of this proud Jedi and honorable Jedi Order. All we've got to this point is, okay, the Jedi are a failed order, and this was another one where it's like, well, see how bad they are, and it's like, I'd like to see a time when they're in their prime and they're actually presented in a positive light.
Yeah, man. And again, it's like, oh, we're gonna paint the Jedi as the bad guys, but they were painted as the bad guys in the prequels. That was their downfall. Like,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah,
we
they were
reading?
blinded, they
Yeah.
were too high and mighty and high on their own supply, and it's like, okay, I
Mhm.
get that, but we know there was a lot of good there. But even for these Jedi, I don't understand the motivations behind what they're doing, or Saul being so invested in the twins
Yes, it's
and
almost creepy in a way, man. Especially the last episode, right? Like, it
yeah.
was like there was all of a sudden like I need to recruit OSHA. There was no like, like
Why or
why he didn't spend time with her. It's like,
Well,
hey,
well, think
wow,
about it,
she's
guys. Everybody's like holy grail in like the dating world is twins.
Mhm.
So that was his sole motivation.
twinsies.
He
He's playing
said,
the long
"I
game on
have to
that
have
because they
the
were pretty young when
twins.
he met him. Yeah.
I have to have the twins."
If it was the Doublemint twins from back in the day,
Yeah,
sure, all day
yeah,
long, Anthony. But
yeah,
yeah, no.
yeah.
Yeah, the thing too is that like with this show, it's just, and a lot of us, obviously when we do these podcasts, you could check us out and see that we were pretty positive about this show. Even though like I still heard some rumblings from like the directors, and some of the actors have been vocal about like some Star Wars fans, and even Kathleen Kennedy. I still went in with an open mind, but just
Sure.
the opening line was just like it just took me out of it.
Well, if you're a
Not
true
not
fan,
complete.
you're not looking for a reason to trash a show. I mean,
Yes,
that's not my
exactly,
agenda. No.
exactly. So it was almost like fight me, and I'm like, what? Like, what are we in, like, high school? Or are we in, like, elementary school where someone goes up to you, "Hey, Jason, fight me." And you're like, "What?"
Then I go screaming and running down the hall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's just, like, poor writing, right?
Yeah.
There's no, like, thinking behind it. It's like, how do we make the Jedi engage? I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
you don't have to be in Jedi to go, "Okay, I'm not fighting you, bro." Like, you go to a
Well,
bar and someone goes, "Hey, Anthony, fight me." And you're like, "Get out of
Like,
here. What are you
like,
what are you
what, dude?
doing?" Yeah.
if the product is
we're-
good, you don't have to. But we still had in the last week Amanda
Mm,
Stenberg going and defending the show, but mainly talking about the racism that she's felt from fans and how she had
mhm,
to do a diss track. It's become all about people not accepting the show and how it's just been oppressive for her to be a part of this and how she's got to answer the call. It's like, if the product was good, just like
mhm,
with Obi-Wan, again,
mhm.
if you enjoyed Obi-Wan, even if you enjoy Acolyte, no hate, all good, go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
But
We're not here to change your mind,
yeah,
You,
but
you know what
they're
though?
spending all their time defending the show and their decisions rather than talking about kind of just the quality of the show and how they approach these characters. It's always got, it's through a certain lens, I don't know, and it never is just about the show. It's always something else that is usually based around kind of a hostile interaction with fans and attacking the fans, and it's like, is that really the case, or is this kind of a couple one-offs from the internet, which any of us could go any day of the week and find hostility on the internet for
Yeah,
any
and
See,
then,
subject.
yeah.
like I don't even believe her. I think she's lying through her teeth. This is no different than with the Reva thing, and they were saying how she was getting all these racist attacks. She has
Yeah.
no receipt. She just blanketly said this. The whole thing with the Reva, there were like 3 tweets that got pulled up, and they didn't even look like real accounts. Like, it wasn't like these were people that had lots of followers. They look like brand new accounts. I don't even believe her. I unless she brings out and says, "Hey, look, there's 1,000 tweets where these people have been threatening my life and saying all kinds of weird stuff to me."
Which is wrong. Even if it's happened from
I
one or two
agree.
people, nobody
I
would
agree.
condone that.
I don't really like care about like I don't have any ill will toward the actors because they're given a script and they say the lines, you know. I mean, I think, you know, if you want to argue like maybe somebody's not that great of an actor or whatever, that's fine. I don't really care, but I don't believe her. I think she's lying. Like, show me the tweets.
The thing,
that's what I want to see.
The thing too is that like I think, you know, a lot of like Star Wars fans are mature enough to not go that route. Yeah, there might be some weirdos, but in the most part, I think, like you guys said, like I have nothing against those actors. If anything, I feel sorry for them. I feel sorry for Daisy Ridley. You know why? I feel sorry for what's her name that played Rose Tico.
Kelly
Marie Tran.
Yeah.
You know why? Is because it's almost like it ends their career, like working in Star Wars, and at some point in the future, people don't want to work in Star Wars anymore.
Yeah, but that also happens in other things. The guy that played Joffrey in Game of Thrones, he got so much hate.
Oh, like, but
right. The same thing's happening right now with the guy Kristen Cole.
Oh,
and then there were even people back when Rise of Skywalker, like they were like going at Adam Driver, wanting him to split up with his wife so he could get with Daisy Ridley. Like, some of these people are just crazy, and this is a very, very, very small, minute amount.
Yes, they are. And the thing too is that like I want good actors to want to play in Star Wars projects. At this point, like, do you think we'll get top tier actors and actresses to want to play in Star Wars if they see, oh man, the fans are like they're toxic. This is, I don't know if I'll ever get another chance at, like, you know, another role, you know, because of this. I mean, I get it with the Joffrey thing, but eventually he did start getting more roles because it took a while for people to get used to him being a nice guy.
Right, but there are people that are insane, and they cannot separate the fact that, like, this is a horrific character, okay, but this is a fictional character, and this is a real person playing a fictional character. Those people are insane, and they should be dealt with accordingly. But like, I don't believe her. I think she's lying. Until she comes out and shows,
you feel like it's disingenuous, and it's kind of it's kind of like
every reason to, because this is almost like copy and paste of what happened with the girl that played Reva.
Yeah,
where they were
it truly is. But if the product was good, I don't think they'd be talking about those aspects of
you are beyond
being involved with the show. Yeah.
Yes, because if you look, we have another series that's coming out that's out right now, and the two main actors in it are both females, and one of them is I don't know, lesbian, non-binary, something another. Like, and honestly, like, I don't care about her, like what she is as a person. This girl is absolutely dominating performance. She is perfect.
And I'm sorry, how long are each of those episodes, Anthony, on House of the Dragon?
Hour.
What is it? Oh, how long are they?
Yeah, they're about an hour.
Yeah, they're about an hour.
Sorry, I always have to dig at that. You got twice the amount of content.
For the same
production.
And you know what's crazy? You know, having that 1 hour episode allows a lot of like character building, world building, plot building. Like, there's so many things that you could do in an hour. In 28 minutes or even less than 30 minutes, what can you do? And again, you know, and that's thank you for your opinion, Jason. That's great. With this one, and I'll just say real quick, and then we'll go to Anthony's opinion on this episode. I was like, what the F? Like, we're back? It's like I'm waiting for Jar Jar to come out and say, hey, we're back. PJ, just kidding. You remember that episode?
So you didn't anticipate there was going to be a flashback episode from a different perspective, because a lot of people were suspecting that.
I was thinking like flashback, like you know how they do quick flashbacks when someone's like maybe like reminiscing or telling a story. Oh, hey, you know, this is why those witches died there, and it'll be like a really quick scene. Not the whole episode's dedicated to the, and I'm like, oh my, and you know what? The majority of the episode is basically 80% of episode
And
3.
that's what I got for the recap. That blew me away because I thought if
I'm
they were
like,
going to do this, it would be a completely different story than we were told, which was okay, these guys did something really underhanded, right? And what I got from this was not so much. It was a couple things that were a little bit different, but was
it's pretty much
substantively anything really changed by this by
Yeah, the only
seeing this?
thing that really changed is May accidentally drops the book and
Mhm.
tries to put it out, but the brick concrete walls are so instantly
burns.
flammable that it just, got out of hand. And then she goes to get her mom.
Yeah,
That's another story.
and here's the thing too is that it's crazy. You know what's crazy? I watch a lot of like channels that are defending the show. They're like, oh yeah, they were like trying to like speculate, oh, what could create that mass fire throughout the whole castle or whatever they were what fort, whatever they were, that was
Mhm.
made out of bricks and things, and rock. I'm like, okay, there's no way in hell that it was that highly flammable to create a fire across this rock fort or fortress or castle. There's no way in hell. It's not.
Mhm.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
physically,
if they're trying to make justifications for that, there is no
disingenuous. Justification. It's either they doused the whole damn, or they built the whole damn thing with gasoline bricks.
Yeah. They're disingenuous. That's really what it comes down to.
It's like, whoa. But again, it just goes back to poor writing.
And
Who
think of it
wrote
like
this?
this. If like we're kind of joking on the rocks catching on fire, but like if everything else was pretty dialed in, we would just overlook this because we've overlooked equally egregious things before. Like,
yes,
I mean, Star Wars, come on, suspension of disbelief.
Right.
Yeah,
you would,
much bought
if everything else was dialed in and like stuff was making sense, it was progressing a storyline, like staying true to the actual world that you're living in, we would overlook this. We've overlooked far worse.
Yes, and it's not us like nitpicking. Yes, I think the flammable thing out. They were making a big deal about the flame outside, like in space, whatever, the vacuum. I get it. That's a little nitpick, and I know there was explosion in space, and whatever the case is, there's fire. I get it. People are arguing about that. Okay, that's a little minute thing, but the whole like, come on, man. Like, there's this suspension of disbelief here, but man, it's just
like,
I
just think if they got everything else right and like they did this, it really wouldn't even be that big a deal.
And that goes with any movie, movie or TV, not sci-fi or fantasy one even. I mean, there are things that occur in the natural world that you're like, okay, that physically is impossible. But you're right, Anthony. It's like you are more forgiving and accepting. If you're invested in characters, you want to see where they end up from point A to point B. I just don't feel like we've found anyone that's written to a point where you want to invest in them. Maybe Kiram, the Sith. I mean, he's probably been the most interesting. Again, great actor. But they've kept this entire time teasing at a greater truth of what happened in the past. Saul's done it for the last 3 episodes. Let me tell you when I get back to the ship. Now it's time for me to tell you the truth, or I will tell you the truth. All this buildup, and this was it. I mean, this is nothing revelatory. So we thought there was going to be some twist or something that really showed that he was a compromised Jedi. But it's like, what's the payoff?
There was no payoff. It was just him obsessed with Osha, and they don't even explain why. Like there was no like, oh, I have like, how with Qui-Gon, he's like, I feel like there's like little like things that he knows, like, oh, the boy is strong with the Force. I feel it. Like there's, let me tell. midichlorian count or whatever.
Mhm.
I know they were doing that little test there, right?
He sensed something even before he did the test in episode 1. He had a sense of something, but he was in close proximity, to
Yeah,
this
but he
kid. I
wasn't
mean,
being like a creeper to where he was like, "I'm this kid
Yeah.
must be mine. I have to have it." Like he
yeah.
wasn't doing.
Well, hey,
it
maybe I think you just hit on this final episode. They're going to find out Soul's the illegitimate father. Maybe they weren't created by the
Yeah.
Thread. Maybe he's the baby daddy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, but
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that would actually be interesting. Like, why not? Let's do it. F it.
He compromised his Jedi morals.
Yeah,
he betrayed,
they didn't. That's why they didn't want to let him in, because they remember him. They
Yeah.
were at some bar on, another
Okay.
planet, and
all right. Yeah.
2 witches and a Jedi. 2 witches,
like
one
the beginning of a
Jedi.
joke.
Next thing you know, like
2 witches
2
walk
witches
into
and
a
a
bar
Jedi walk into a bar.
where Jedi's drinking it.
Yeah.
Doing
all
death
right.
sticks.
Anthony, let's get your opinion on this episode. But before you do so, I know we're probably trashing this episode or even the show, but what are the positives? What are the positives in this episode that you saw? We'll start off with that. Okay. Really
All right,
I'm sorry, who are you asking,
I'll tell
Anthony?
you I'll tell you something that I thought was pretty cool.
Mhm.
When Jedi Tommen was fighting off all the witches that were shooting the arrows at him.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I like that. Like, that was pretty cool.
Mhm.
I was happy to see Kanaka finally pull out a lightsaber.
Mhm.
And I'm a huge fan. I live at the beach, so I'm a huge fan of metal detecting. And I was super stoked to see Kanaka out metal detecting. I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pacemaker.
Yeah. And you can find lots of stuff that way. I don't know if you ever watched The Curse of Oak Island, but that dude, like, he's found so much just metal detecting on that. Other things, these Jedis, I think they're more like real people. They have flaws. They like to lie. They are deceivers. I think they're actually a secret Sith organization, and they are going to basically lie to the Jedi Council, and because the Jedi don't have the ability to read people's thoughts, they will not even know that they're lying to them, because they're going to mask everything because of the Sith temple that's underneath the Jedi temple. Jedi Trinity, I thought that was pretty awesome when she took down Tanaka with the Black Widow takedown, and then disconnected him from the Matrix and killed all the witches because of reasons. I've never seen anything like that before, and I thought that was an elite level.
When I heard that, I was like, wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell happened. I was just like,
you don't need to know. There's no reason to know. Don't worry about knowing.
It's like an electrical surge, and
That's
you
your
plug in the
problem.
amp.
Is you want to know, how did that happen? What horsepower is that? How do I download that into the Matrix?
Oh, I was like,
never going to figure that out. Never.
The funniest part, I almost cracked up, was this: the witch is like, oh, they're like swaying back.
It's like, if you want to say anything to Ajax, you might want to go ahead and say it.
I was like, what happened? I was like, what the hell happened? What
if you die in the Matrix?
Not like
in
this.
Real life.
Not
no,
like
but literally, not like this.
There were like, Jason, I know you didn't watch the episode, but they were like this.
And she's basically over top of him, just like Obi-Wan was over Luke.
This is the people
that unplug the router, okay? Maybe it just needs to be.
Yeah, you got to reset the Wi-Fi.
I literally cracked
reset
up.
the factory settings like last episode.
I cracked up, and then I like cried inside. I'm like, this is Star Wars.
I was like, yes, go do it.
I was like, this is Star Wars. Like, what just happened?
Not to do an on-the-fly rewrite, but they should have had the Jedi going to kill.
And you know what?
the mothers. in something, and OSHA or May just has like an
Yeah.
overabundant use of the Force where it just wipes out the sisters or something, and
I'm
she's
just like, come on, this is not. Anyway, go ahead, Anthony. I'm sorry. I'm hijacking your opinion. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, dude.
I don't know what he saw in them twins, but that shit took control of him. He reminded me of like some friends I had when I was younger, and he'd be like, I have to go talk to Sarah. I have to go talk to Sarah. I think Sarah's the one. I really love Sarah. That's how he sounded to me. My delusional friend, you know, when I was in my early 20s, who was damn near putting up a deer stand outside their house, looking into their windows and following around. Like, yeah, they basically made him out to be like a pervert.
Yeah, like he's a groomer.
Yeah, he's a groomer. Makes sense. I want to know what in the actual fuck was Tommen's reason for going into meditation and then just saying, screw it, I'm going to kill myself. Because what did he do wrong?
Yeah.
All he wanted to do, he was tired of this mission. He wanted to go home to Coruscant and play Xbox. That's all he wanted to do. He did not like it out here. He did not like collecting rocks and grass and water and putting them into a container while Kanaka is metal detecting for M count in the water and a virgins. Like, and when he says virgins, it sounds like he says virgins. So maybe that's what he was looking for, and we just misunderstood him. I want to ask y'all this before I continue on this diatribe. Have y'all listened to the previous episode?
Hey, Rex.
With the audio part?
No, but I did see the audio translation clips.
It is freaking amazing. Amazing.
Kamir's glistening, hardened muscles glistening in the light.
I don't even like the only thing this really settled. We pretty much figured. Well, I don't know if we actually believed it, but everybody pretty much thought somehow or another that the Jedi killed all these people. Which that turned out not to be true, but
yes,
they killed themselves because they were possessing Kanaka, right?
Yeah,
but I don't think the Jedi didn't even know. It was like, okay, I will unpossess Kanaka, but not realizing they killed like the whole tribe.
Yeah, like, but did you notice Jedi Trinity when she's doing that? All of their necks popped. I mean, it was pretty much like Vader and Kenobi show. So, all right, this is what I've learned from this show.
Really? So that's what happened. Like
that's what it looked like to me.
Honestly, when I watched it, they just looked like they just like got disconnected, and you know that was it. And
I mean, we did learn one thing. That's what the power of many can do. All right,
it's the power to kill many.
Yeah. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that yes, the only way that Jedi Trinity could stop what was happening to him was to kill all them other people. All right, fine. You know, reasons. So she goes and she kills all them people, and then it's like, oh, don't even get me started on this dumb shit right here. So then she's like, we have to tell the Jedi Council. Yeah, this is what we're going to tell them. You know, makes up a lie because she's the one that killed him. You know, he's standing there like, what the hell do they have a problem pulling out a lightsaber?
I guess I just thought it would be a really massive cover up. Maybe there were kids involved, maybe like Kamir's family or something that would there would be, and maybe there's still a tether because it sounds like he has the same cloud floating ability as Anastasia.
Yeah. Oh, I think I have a reason. I think I know why that is.
But that should have been revealed here. They can't, if they're going to do anything else, you can't do it in the final episode of an 8-episode series.
Yeah, and no, they're saving that for next season.
Yeah.
Well, the thing too is that it's crazy, and the people that were supporting the show, they're like, "Oh wow, it's so hard for them to like support it." They're like, because they're now like back to like they're cornered at this point because they're like, yeah, they have a lot of like things that they have to like resolved by the last episode. How the heck are they going to resolve everything in like the last episode when literally every episode that we got is less than 30 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think they'll. I mean, there's already storylines that they really haven't. All right, so we got Chimera. Like he's got, a slash mark on his back.
Most
he obviously got whipped
of the entire series.
Yeah, he obviously got whipped by, the green bald lady. He obviously got whipped by her. So are we going to find out that the reason why Chimera knows Saul is because he was an apprentice of that lady?
Mm-hmm.
So what I think is going to happen is I think somewhere toward the end,
good point,
Chimera is going to end up facing off against somebody else, probably one of the twins, if not both of the twins. Since they've got identical DNA, like they were actually split into two people, I think that means that they basically each have half of a brain, and that makes 100% sense. Because some of the things they do, it would explain why they are, I love you, I don't want you to go, I'm going to kill you, and then panicking because they're accidentally killing. Like it would make
I'm turning myself in, I'm not turning myself in, I want to kill you, I'm not going to kill you.
It would make so much sense that they are sharing a brain, that they only have half. So anyway, they'll end up fighting Chimera, and then they're gonna have a hold of his hair, and then they're gonna be like, why are you doing this? Who are you? And then they're going to pull it off, and it's going to be the Zabrak bomb.
It's
going to be
the good Scooby-Doo,
just like Scooby-Doo.
I will give a positive.
I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you pesky twins.
Why did you say Martha?
Yeah, and then it's going to be like you're going to see like that light bulb, like when Leia tells Han, yeah, I love him. He's my brother. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be like, hold on, y'all were kissing on Hoth. And it's going to be like that meme of the girl looking at all the equations. And then it's going to be like, well, Osha's going to be thinking, but Mom, why were you trying to seduce me? And we went back in the cave and made out, and then I put the helmet on. Now I don't feel right.
Yeah, now I'm going to take you out. Come here. I will give a positive nod to the actors. I think they're doing the absolute best and even better than they probably have any right to with the material that they have.
Oh,
they're all given 100%.
I don't know who's writing this this show, but man, this is just like
I can tell you who's writing it. It's the former assistant of Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland.
Yeah, Leslie.
And if you remember, she was in an interview a little while back, and she's like, write what you know. So what is she writing? She's got a woman that is going to cover up the creepiness of a man that she works with.
Yeah, I think, you could go that route. I think it's also just somebody who feels like it's she's got something to prove, and she is trying to put more of herself into the story and not really take care of the property, or advance it in ways that are interesting. And that's not just a Leslie Headland thing. It's a Rian Johnson thing. It's a J.J. Abrams thing, because there were ideas and kernels of ideas in the sequel trilogy that I think we all could have got behind if they were fleshed out and thought through, and there were story reasons for them being there. But there was no planning. There was no mapping for any of that. Certainly not over a trilogy. And here in an 8-episode series, it's just bad construction for this type of format. And Disney has a real problem, with the exception being Mando and Andor, because I think you've got a different caliber of creatives working on those shows that know how to crack this kind of format to build tension, excitement, investment in the characters. It's just kind of limping along. And again, if you're enjoying it, cool. No hate. Seriously.
No hate to it's absolutely no hate to.
I think there's a lot here, to enjoy. There's good eye candy. There's good acting, but just cohesively, it's just not there, and it's not getting me excited for the next episode, let alone the next season.
Think about years ago what we were told, that we were going to get a story about a Sith acolyte. All right, and it was going to be long time ago, way before the prequels, and we were basically kind of thinking that this is going to be something along the lines of like a Tenebris and a Plagueis, and they were going to be in the shadows, lurking, stuff like that. All right, that's not what we got. Like, this could have been cool if, let's just say, we had Chimere or whoever Chimere's master is. Let's just say we had them. They stumbled across the twins on that planet. They go into that castle, and like whoever the Sith was killed all the witches and took one of the twins.
That's what I thought we were going to get, honestly.
Right.
That would have been like 100 billion times better than this show.
Right. Because if you think about this, there's like a lot of characters that are unnecessary in this whole show. The twins are the MacGuffin, and they make no sense.
But are they even? I mean,
kinda.
I don't even know for what purpose we're really following them. Yeah, I don't. They're the least interesting characters in the series, and I'm assuming they're the acolyte. I don't know.
To be honest, at this point, I don't know what the heck is going on. Really, literally, I thought like there would be some progression and we'll just get flashbacks of what happened. People get traumatized. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that part. Like they're like, oh, like I thought we'd get flashback, but not a whole episode. Like, oh, come on.
It's when you start looking at it and none of it makes sense from episode to episode. From scene to scene, it completely contradicts itself. Yes, it's poor writing. Like even if it wasn't the lore, not feeling like it's in the universe that it's supposed to be in, even if you took all those aspects away, this is a horribly written show.
It is.
It doesn't make sense. The wishy-washiness of it, like it literally is like you have a 14-year-old girl that can't make up her mind minute to minute what she wants to do. I want to know why did Tommen kill himself? What did he do that was so egregious that he just could not live, and he went from being a Padawan to a master while he was in that state for 10 years? I have no idea. Why did Kanaka go off into hiding? What did he do wrong?
Yeah.
He was possessed by a witch and ended up fighting the Jedi. I would think the Jedi would be like, hey man, it's all right. We totally understand. It wasn't your fault. You didn't do this on your own.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. All the motivations don't make sense.
Yeah. I just don't think.
I think the Zabrak is still alive.
Yeah.
I think the Zabrak witch is still alive. I don't think that. I don't think they killed her. And
yeah,
because the Jedi are awful. That's what I walk away with this.
Yeah. Well,
Marcel.
Yeah. Well, everything that the Jedi are supposed to be and stand for, they have just totally done the exact opposite. These act like immoral people when the Jedi are supposed to be like. Think about the emotions that these people have. With the exception of Anakin, all of the Jedi were stoic. They have a mission. They have a purpose. They do not let one fallen person stop them from moving forward when they are in a fight. They do not do it. Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan falls down. Qui-Gon doesn't even glance over there. He is like tunnel vision. I have to kill this Sith. He cannot go forward. You have that in so many aspects of.
But Obi-Wan was still alive when Qui-Gon fell. They honored him. They obviously collected his body, but like, was it 2 episodes ago when you have this whole platoon of Jedi get wiped out? I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
where are you going, dude?
Why did he leave? He calls them, and they're coming, and then he basically knocks May unconscious, bolts her down, and then goes into hyperspace. Where did he go? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Why even call them? Like,
Well, I thought the most comical was as soon as they took off from the planet,
yeah, it's like,
the Green
see ya.
Jedi just zooms right in. I was like,
yeah, like,
it was
yeah, it
hilarious.
just doesn't make. And every single, if you notice, like, you go back and you look at the prequels, you know, you get Obi-Wan, Anakin, Mace Windu, all the other like Jedi. All these people look like formidable fighters. What was up with that squirrely looking dude in the last episode that went with Green Lady? He looked like he should have been in Revenge of the Nerds. Like, this was like,
Yeah. Well, Green Lady is Leslie Headland's wife, so the other dude is probably her nephew or something.
Probably. I mean, and then you got, you know, Order 66 Big Max Jedi on that other planet. Like, he looked like why do we have somebody? The only people in this that actually look formidable are these three on the screen, and
Jackie.
Yeah, Jackie. Yeah.
Jackie. Yeah.
And you know, even
the guy Yord
was
like,
yeah, but I mean, he was a clown, and they basically talked shit about him the whole time.
Like, he was. I enjoyed that lightsaber fight. Yeah, in that episode. Yeah. I mean, it was good, but that was another one too that they did not set up the cortosis and why it should be shorting out.
See what they should have done?
I mean, we all know it because we know the deep lore, but it's like average people, they don't know why.
What they should have done is they should have had May use some type of cortosis. She has gauntlets on or something when she comes in contact with Trinity.
They could have written it with the original Coven. Like, maybe they were sitting on a pile of that cortosis.
Right. Maybe that planet is where it's rich.
Or it was dangerous, so they had to come and confiscate it. And there was a reason for, you know, trying to solve some kind of conflict because they were on a mine of it or something. You know, start that thread. Start a thread there.
Right. And then you could have had something with May actually having it, and that being the reason that she was able to take down a master. You know, you could have found like the broken gauntlet or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, we have a person that had killed a master, and here's cortosis. And
so, yeah.
And then you could have given the explanation for what cortosis is.
Amir's family could have been, you know, some kind of metallurgist family that knew how to refine it and fashion it into weapons, and they killed his family because they were, you know, involved and he had a reason to turn to the dark side. But yet he could fashion it himself.
Right. You could have done something with that. See, the thing is we could come up with way better stories off the top of our head. And they work on this for years. And this is like it's written by people that rode the short bus.
So here's the thing. You know, and I think she got hired. Leslie Headland got hired. Okay, you know, because I think she was famous for the Russian Doll, right? Yeah. That show, and I never watched the show. I heard good things about it. But at the same time, too, I'm like, maybe she is like a good writer in that sense, where she could, you know, something that she's actually really passionate about. I just feel like maybe this one, she's not in that like mindset.
Well, a couple of years ago, she said, I want writers that do not know anything about Star Wars.
Well,
that pretty much right there.
Achievement unlocked there. It's basically
yeah, right there. When I heard that a couple of years ago, I was like, yeah, this is not going to be good.
Yeah,
like, I mean,
but it's not just these shows. It's not just these properties. It's all entertainment right now.
Yeah.
And I started off my passion in comics, and the same thing's happening in the comics industry right now. Is you have people who are self-defined activists.
Yep.
Again, don't care if that's your mission. Good on you. But they're writing themselves into the stories because that's what they want, not because objectively that's what is faithful to the character or the foundational elements of these properties. They don't.
They just want a job. And if they don't have people above them that are like giving the parameters, they're going to write whatever they write.
But see, here's the thing.
Sorry, go ahead, PJ.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was going to say, is that like the thing too, is this, these comic, you know, you mentioned comics, even Star Wars, when you watch them, there shouldn't be an agenda because it's already like organically, like whatever the case is, they're organically promoting diversity, like all these different things.
We got that in the
It-
OT.
You had that in the OT or the aliens. You got the strong female lead actress. In the comic books, X-Men. Like, hello. That's like what did
Storm led the team for like almost a decade.
yeah.
Back in the mid '80s through '90s.
What was the X-Men fighting for? To be accepted, right? In the world. So it's just like,
and that's the thing is there's a lack of recognition that trailblazing is there. These guys aren't blazing any new trails. You're not. So if
No.
that's your mission,
Mhm.
you're in it for the wrong reasons. Just get in there to tell good stories that people can rally around.
Exactly. They're here. Oh, we're gonna make the Jedi look bad. Too late. They already look bad in the prequels. Watch the Clone Wars animated show. Who was like one of the most meanest Jedis there?
Oh yeah.
Krell? What's her name? What's his name?
Yeah.
With the guy with the he's got
Dexter.
Yeah, and he's got like the forearms, and he's got like the dual.
That was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was a jerk. And that was basically, and he's a Jedi master. It's like, hello, you're not reinventing the wheel here. But really quick, we're just gonna move on. Anthony, what's your score? 1 to 10. Okay, 0. Okay.
As a Star Wars show, I will give it a 0. As sheer like comedy, that doesn't have to make sense, like Dumb and Dumber or The Jerk or something like that. This is like 11. Like this is epic.
I like Dumb and Dumber. I know. I like Dumb and Dumber, man. I mean, that had a good story.
If you just want to sit down, eat some popcorn, rock back and forth with a football helmet on, and bang your head against the wall, like this is freaking awesome. Like I love it. Like I want more. Like I can't wait for them to pull Chimere's mask off. Like in Mission Impossible or something like that, and it's going to be the Zabrak.
And it's Philip Seymour.
Yeah. I am praying. I'm praying for that to happen.
Oh my goodness!
It has to happen. I have to have it. I want it bad.
Yeah, and a lot of Marcel saying they're called Jedi Knights because knights embody nobility, character depth, and
yeah. But we're going to change the meaning of the word knight so that it doesn't mean nobility, and that's how they're going to get us.
Every character seems to be absent from the Jedi in this show. I agree.
Now, how awesome would it be? Like we've all wondered, like where the hell's Yoda at? All right.
Yeah, he's not.
Like, how does Yoda not sitting over there holding his chest? Like we just lost 8 Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
All right. So then I think Leslie Headland's wife is going to walk up, and she's going to be walking in there talking to Yoda, and she's going to tell him, and he was like,
they better not
talk of this. We never can.
Oh man. No.
And then, that's the only thing they got to do. They got to ruin Yoda. Okay.
Ugh.
Like
no, don't.
They have to do it. Or maybe it'll be she'll walk in and talk to Yaddle.
Oh no, not my Yaddle.
And then Yaddle, they can basically like tear down the patriarchy and the council.
Maybe this is what makes Yaddle hit the pipe. Maybe Yaddle.
Yes,
like
this
beautiful...
could be the turning point. This could be the turning point for her becoming a crackhead. And all of this that happened right under her nose, like maybe she is the head of the Jedi Council, and because all of this happened, she steps down a little bit, because she goes on a bender. She's down in the underworld, running around, selling tails, smoking death sticks, and this was, kind of what did it for her.
Oh my goodness.
And then we can do all kinds of different things with this chaos, and we can start developing why the Jedi became so inept. And it was all because Yaddle slipped off the wagon. She had to go to Death Stick recovery camp, and then it put Yoda in, and it put Mace in, and then you
It
know,
affects everyone around you, not
yeah,
just the individual.
Kiadi Mundi kind of
Addiction's a
rose through
terrible
the
thing.
ranks, you know, and it put all those guys at the head. And then, you know, that's why the Jedi failed, because Yaddle became a crackhead
It all
because
comes back
Wow.
to
of
Yaddle.
everything
Wow,
that happened with these witches.
Wow, Anthony. I think you just gave us season 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Millennium Workshop, Rex. If Jedi learn from past mistakes, we're comparing how Jedi are in Star Wars from what we know, but this happened before all that, like a business protocol changes over the years. LOL. All right, so real quick, before I know we've been beating the dead horse here. So my take on this, right? I'm giving it a 0. Number one, I think it's just a lazy writing. How could you dedicate another episode like this, like a full episode and another perspective, and nothing literally changed from episode 3. Whatever we saw in episode 3, yeah, it's maybe from the Jedi's perspective,
Well,
but
what about Anastasia dying? She was going to let her go, and he killed her, right? Wasn't that a betrayal?
But was she going to let her
Yeah.
go? Because she was going to talk to all the other witches, and all the other witches said no. She cannot go with the pervert Jedis. Cannot go with them. We cannot let her go.
And
not
the thing too is
twins. We cannot give up our twins to the pervert Jedis.
What was your take, PJ? Was she going to let them go?
I think she wasn't. I mean, just by the looks of it, it looked like a lot of everyone, and I'm sure she doesn't want to risk, like, I guess, like her leadership role there if she was to give the twins to the Jedi. So I'm sure it, like, majority rule. So they're probably. I mean, in my opinion, I think she would have just kept them there. But at the same time, I know she says, "Oh, I'm being a mother," but the thing too bothered me is that, like, she turned into this, like, black dust that I'm like, what is this? Right? And yeah, she got killed, but it was by accident. I don't think, like, Soul was just trying to prevent her from attacking Torben, whatever his name is, right? And that, I think that was the case. But anyway, long story short, again, nothing again happened. We still don't. It didn't move the story forward.
Right.
It's poor acting. It's not. And you know what? I take that back. It's not the actor's fault. It is so poorly written that it comes off as poor acting. Right?
I would agree with that.
You know,
or maybe some of these actors are not good.
I think they're good.
With the exception of Green Woman, Headland's wife, she is objectively bad.
Yeah,
she's not good.
She's very like, very, I don't know,
wooden.
There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. And the thing too is, like, all right, Carrie Ann Moss, she's a great actress. I think she held her own. I think she was a positive in this.
Actor plays Soul from Squid Game. He's great. I mean, he learned English for this role.
Yeah, I think he did great. The best he can. I don't know. But anyway, just the writing is so bad. The story, we got the writing in the prequels. Yes, I know a lot of people could say, "Oh, the prequels had really bad writing." Yeah, I could agree to that, or I could see that. But the story was still good. It's still fluid. Like, it just, everything connected. It was moving the story forward. This is not doing anything. We're literally back to episode 3. Literally back to episode 3. Pretty much what we assumed or we suspected was true. Like, I was like, there's no way in hell that, maybe someone used the Force to catch make the whole thing go on, like, in flames, right? Nope. She just dropped something and the whole the whole fortress went up in flames.
It was the oopsie.
Yes.
It's bad to introduce Khmer like they did and not continue on with that. They should have locked onto that and just fleshed out his story and not done this back step when it really is not going to influence anything in the present time when we revisit it next episode. They should have just forward motioned with him.
It's all over the place. Okay, all right. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, right? They were like, "Oh, well, this show is about Khmer, right? It's his story. We hardly see him. Okay, it's the twins. okay, what are they doing? I have no idea. All I know is that they're just back and forth. I'm gonna kill you. I love you. I'm leaving you. I'm coming back. I'm
They're
gonna join
mostly
the Jedi.
getting
I'm not gonna...
force pushed until they get knocked out for the most part. That's
Yeah,
kind of what they
and
do.
nothing's happening with the twins. The Jedi, okay, they're bad. Okay, thank you for telling us. Maybe that's a spoiler alert because obviously they're trying to make them look bad. Mission accomplished. Anyway, long story short, it's just from, and I said this in Rogue 5 Cantina's group, or I forgot what group I said it. I was, had blinders on, but I just said that I don't know what's worse, Madam Web or this show or this episode. Like, I don't know what I would rather watch. I think I would rather watch Madam Web because I think I know for a fact that's just going to be a bad, or I expect it to
Madam
be
Web
bad.
has two things going for it that will supersede any of the storyline.
I know where this is going.
That is Sydney Sweeney and Dakota Johnson.
Yeah.
And the promise that they will be in a very revealing outfit.
But they weren't. That's the bad thing.
Well, and I thought that this was going to be about lesbians in space. And I love lesbians. And we've got no lesbian action in this whole show.
My goodness.
It has been a complete tease.
You got a lot of shirtless dudes.
I know, and that's what makes me so mad, is because I thought this was going to be about lesbians in space.
Oh my goodness.
And the chick that plays Osha has got a smoking body. And the chick that plays
She's
Jackie
frumpy in all the costumes.
has got a smoking body. And they put both of them in potato sack suits, just like they did Kelly Marie Tran. And I feel gypped. I could overlook the whole story if we just get some good lesbian action.
Okay. All right. Going back to my opinion. Let's move forward in that one.
Yeah, what was so you're ready with the 0, PJ?
I think it's
Sydney Sweeney.
I think you know what it is too, Jason. It's just lazy. Literally, they were like, I don't know, this is supposed to be affiliate. They're like, hey, I don't know. I know Disney told us 8 episodes, so I don't know what to do. You know what? We'll do another episode, but in the Jedi's perspective. And you know what? We're going to use the same scenes that we used in episode 3 for episode 7. And that's basically what it is. It was a waste of time. Everything what we suspected in episode 3, it was, long story short, episode 7 revealed nothing. Absolutely nothing. It didn't.
The fire was an accident.
Well, that's what we expected. We were like, there's no way in hell. And exactly. Anyway, moving forward. Let's just move forward. Oh my goodness. All righty then. Okay.
Sydney Sweeney.
Oh goodness. All right. So positive things. Positive vibes. We got some really cool. Thank you to CC for sharing this in the group. This is going to be releasing tomorrow in Bottleneck Gallery. By the way, we're going to talk about collectibles, guys. So thank you for listening to us rant about the last episode. Again, nothing against you guys. If you loved the episode, we're just jealous.
I love it. I think it is freaking amazing. I mean, I think it is the best thing I've seen in forever. Like they are breaking glass ceilings. They are, developing new force powers. I mean, I think it's freaking fantastic. And you know what? You know what this is ultimately going to do? This is going to be the reason that they did not want to train Anakin, because they had seen a Vergence in the Force before, and they know that it's bad.
Can I say? I mean, honestly, sorry, Anthony. I just don't. If it's going to get head that route, I just gonna cut it off. Like I said, there's only so much I could take, and I think prequels episode 1 to episode 6 is gonna be just my bubble. I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's real Star Wars, and this is gonna be like if you order something from Wish.
Oh my goodness!
Like you've seen the meme where they'll show thought you were getting this, but you actually got this.
Oh, Timu or something like that.
Yeah. Well, any of them. Like
Anyway, let's go back to this print. Jason, what do you think about this print, man?
He's on mute.
Oh,
I
shit.
think it looks awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like the I don't know what you would call that. Kind of reminds me of like Andy Warhol color stuff. Like,
Yeah, this is pretty.
I think it looks cool.
Actually, to be honest, Anthony, I don't think I could buy any more prints. I got too many. I say this now, and then when something
you'll order
like, yeah. Do I have wall space for it? Absolutely not. Oh yeah, Jason, you're back. What do you think about that? Those prints.
I like it. I like that that design. Very kind of pop art.
Yeah,
graphical 2D look. It's cool.
yeah. And there's two variants of it. So I mean,
Nice.
there's one variant, I guess you could say. All right. And San Diego Comic-Con is coming soon, guys. And I think Sideshows is going to go all out, man. I think they had like, was it 12 days of Sideshow reveals or something like that going on? But this really, really, really shocked me.
Oh.
We are getting a Cad Bane premium format statue. I'm hoping they reveal it at Sideshow Con or San Diego Comic-Con, Sideshow Con, whatever you want to call it. Jason, what's your thoughts on this, man? I know you collect statues here, so is this something that, depending on how it looks, obviously, would this be in your collection?
It probably wouldn't be something I'd naturally be inclined to pick up, but if it's really a good looking piece, great sculpt and paint, maybe. I'm always curious about what do they do that's the realistic version. It's probably not going to be the animated style, so it's going to be kind of in universe with the live action trilogy. So that always gets me excited because we know they've got the 1/6 figure that's coming out in the animated line. So I'm interested to see what they do in the realistic version line.
You make a great point because we obviously got the live action version, and I know they came out with the Mandalorian like line, right? So this could go in that sense, right?
Because Gentle Giant's the only one that's done one so far, and I think that's like 1/6.
Yeah. How about you, Anthony?
I'm interested. Can we tell anything from that background as to whether this could maybe be a little bit more animated or?
Yeah, good question.
I think it's live action because it looks like it's like in Tatooine. Remember when? Yeah, remember when Boba fought against Cad Bane?
Yeah. I mean,
that's the only thing I'm thinking though is if it's short bill hat Cad Bane.
Yeah.
For Mando, people are not going to be as excited.
Yeah, I would almost rather see like bill. You know what they could do though is they could actually do a swap out head sculpt.
That would be cool.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
And that may make the difference because just like what they did with the Obi-Wan, I might be interested.
Yeah, good call.
I might be interested. Depends on what it looks like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. Like they're really coming out with characters that we don't really see on a regular basis, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like Sideshow, they know because a lot of their products in terms of Star Wars have been very successful, especially the Boba Fett with the Han Solo and Carbonite, right? That sold out. So
that sold out fast.
Yeah. That sold out fast. And honestly, I think they're realizing there's a market for collectors, for Star Wars collectors.
What I think too, what they've overcome in the last couple of years is that hesitation from people because pre-production photos didn't always necessarily reflect what you had in hand.
Yeah,
and they're doing a lot better on reaching that. I think probably the last one that was the big miss was the Mythos Anakin, where I was so excited to put that next to my Mythos Obi-Wan Clone Wars version, and then you saw the face on that thing, and you're like, no.
That Christopher Reeve Superman really bummed me out.
Yeah, same here, man.
Because I was wanting that bad.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that Mythos Obi-Wan premium format is good, and
I think they're gonna nail it. I think the pandemic shit we've kind of gotten all past, and the QC issues where they haven't had the oversight because I probably talked about it here, but I interviewed with Sideshow. It was about maybe 6-7 years ago. At that time, they were having a real hard time having people on the floor at the manufacturing studios in China, and you literally have to have somebody there to check the runs. They were doing it remotely, across the ocean, and they were not getting people actually displaying what was really on the production line, so they had to have somebody physically there. I'm sure with COVID that was a challenge. Making
Yeah,
sure
I'm
that
sure it
QC
was.
was in place.
Yeah, especially if it's the factories are in China. That's tough.
You know what though?
Uh,
If they would have taken, like, let's just say that Christopher Reeve one, that was the first big miss where
mhm.
the prototype was nowhere close.
You talking
Um,
about the one where he was coming off the dam wall, where the dam was bursting and he was in flight?
no, he was
'Cause
just
there were
standing.
there were 2. Oh, you're talking about the recent one where he's just standing,
Right.
right?
Yeah, yeah. I
They
mean,
had 2 misses.
I was wanting that one so bad. I mean, I was waiting on that, and I think they would have got what it was going to be, and they would have said, "Hey, listen, this thing was not up to our standards. It's going to be another year." I think everybody would have totally
That's
been
the
like,
thing,
"All
man.
right,
They've got so much sunk cost at that point that they can't go back and redo it. I mean,
yeah,
everything's in line. You're
Mhm.
essentially trashing the head sculpt and having to redo it. They can't just repaint it.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
hard.
it's they can't afford that in their profit margin.
yeah."
They'll
I mean,
take a loss on it.
I just would think like they could hold the manufacturing plant responsible. Like, listen,
Yeah, you would hope,
this
yeah.
isn't
Well,
what we thought we were getting.
so here's the thing too, is that like I know for a fact that there are good factories and bad factories, right?
Yep.
So it all depends on Sideshow, and I guess it depending on like the popularity of the pre-orders, I guess you could say, or the demand of, like they could probably gauge on the pre-orders, like, hey, you know what, this needs to go in the good factory because we're, like the Ahsoka premium format from Rebels, right? They were like, oh yeah, it's Ahsoka. There's a lot of pre-orders here. We gotta send this to a good factory, and look at it.
High edition size, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fact. Good factories and bad. So all depends, right? I think with the Mythos Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I guess like with a lot of feedback from the collectors, mostly positive. I think they have to send that to the good factory because they can't afford any cancellations on that
Well,
piece.
think too at quarter scale now, you've got Iron Studios, so you have an alternative.
Yeah.
You got PCS coming in with 1/3. It's not like
Oh,
Sideshow's the only game in town, with
yeah.
licensed, opportunities at the large scale format.
Yeah, and I think they're bringing their A game, especially with Star Wars, because honestly, like their past, all right, besides the Clone Wars, Anakin, right, and maybe I don't know, maybe some of the Mando line, the Moff Gideon wasn't all that great, but long story
Cara
short,
Dune wasn't very good either.
yeah, she's still there, but not perfect. But honestly, ever since then, they just stepped up their game, and they've been always hitting home runs.
Maybe they swapped plants.
Maybe
Maybe.
maybe they're just like,
That
you know what?
that Mace, the head sculpt's better than Hot Toys, in my opinion, if that's
Yeah,
what the production line ends up looking like.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna
yeah.
have to see is, do we get what we've gotten before where
Mhm.
the the first one we see looks fantastic, and then like that Christopher Reeve looked amazing. And
The
then
pre-production, yeah.
yeah, and then that one came out and it was not good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like Mythos Vader, right? The most recent Mythos Vader, that was perfect.
Mhm.
So again, I think they've been hitting home runs recently. Hopefully, they continue that streak, and we'll get good products. I just love the fact that they are like going all in with Star Wars as opposed to before. They were like they'll dabble, they'll release a Kylo Ren premium format or Rey, but now it's just like okay, they're giving us like tertiary characters like Cad Bane,
Mhm.
um, what else? Mace Windu. I
But we
would say
got
I
X-Wing
wouldn't say
Luke.
that. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're
Mhm.
tertiary characters, but they're not like your main characters like Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh,
They're not just doing Darth Maul,
Boba Fett.
Vader, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boba Fett.
The
all the
ones they've
time,
done before, yeah.
multiple times. They're giving us other
Multiple,
characters
I
yeah.
hope they go back to what they used to do before, where they were doing a lot of those secondary, thirdary
Yeah,
characters.
they had Greedo bust, I think, and they made at one
Mhm.
point,
Mhm.
right? They
Like, think
made
about
so
it. They
many.
did Shock T.
They did exactly Shakti, Ayla,
Ayla
Sakura.
Sakura. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a
So if we
lot that
could
they've
go,
done over the years.
yeah, and I'm hoping they go back to that
Mhm.
Do a whole
formula.
Jedi line, and that comes down probably to Mace, right? So if Mace sells well, maybe they'll do a Kit Fisto, maybe they'll do a Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Oh my god, can you
Mhm.
imagine? I don't know about Ki-Adi-Mundi now.
Yeah, he's like, you know, Benedict Arnold.
Oh my goodness. All right, so and this is a shocker. Hot Toys. I know for me at least, I've been kind of out of Hot Toys, so this is a cool announcement, but obviously nothing for me to really go back to investing in Hot Toys more. But if you're a Clone Trooper collector, man, you must
Yeah.
be salivating. You're in heaven right now. Jason, what's your thoughts on this when we're getting Echo? Not from the Bad Batch Echo, like Echo,
Yeah.
pre-Bad
Echo.
Batch.
Yeah. I love it. It's not for me because I don't collect a
Yeah.
ton of clones, although I do have a few, and it's just a space issue. But I love the fact that it doesn't just look like repurposed head sculpts every time.
Mm-hmm.
Even though genetically they are exactly the same, it's just like twins, right? If you've ever met identical twins, morphologically, there's a little something different that you can
Yes.
pick out between the two of them. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like with these head sculpts, there's just something a little bit different more than just hairstyle.
Well, we're
So,
also
Yeah.
getting them at different ages, you know?
mhm, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no. So I think there's enough uniqueness about these that
Mhm.
I know J2SO and other uh boys in the crew at Spice Runners just love these, and yeah, I wish I had the space for it because I think they're great. They're great pieces. Hey,
Hey,
Sean.
Sean. Yeah,
Hey,
we gotta
man.
get you back when Sean's back. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So this is cool, man. Anthony, like I know you're out of Hot
I
Toys.
yeah, I wish I still collected them because I had all the clones
Mhm.
that were out at the moment, and it was a great display. I wish I still collected them because
Yeah.
they look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that
Nice.
lineup. That looks incredible.
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks
Just seeing that right there, man, makes me wish I still because I
you start
had
twitching.
because I had Rex, Cody, I had a regular 501st, I had a
Mhm.
Coruscant Trooper,
You had one,
and
you had two, you had the power of
But see,
many.
oh please, I can't. I don't. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
good.
I wish I still collected them because even when I remember when the Jesse one got released, Sean and
Yeah.
I were like, dude, that tattoo on the face looks sick.
Dude, the paint on that was so crisp.
Hmm.
I can't believe how they did that. That looks so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that that's why I had to like jump out of Hot Toys just because I knew they were gonna go this route where they start releasing the troopers, the different types of troopers, and I'm like, man, if you start counting how many troopers there were, uh, and like how much each one's gonna cost, you're like, man, I don't think I got the
If it was Hot
money.
Toys 2010, it's a different story, but Hot Toys
Yeah,
2024, nope.
no, or an average figure
Yeah.
is like $300. Like you're
Mhm.
like,
Think about it. They haven't even done like the ones that were on Kashyyyk. They
Oh,
haven't
no.
Agree,
done
Commander Agree. Yep,
yeah,
Commander Agree.
agree. Was it Bakara was like the burgundy?
Yep.
Those are my two favorites, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like they haven't even done those yet.
Oh, they're doing them though.
Oh, I know they
They
are,
will,
but
they
like
will.
they haven't
They
done them
will.
yet. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
They
Who
will.
else? Who else are we missing? There's so many troopers, man.
Nero, the one, on the speeder bike,
Oh
Commander
yeah,
Nero,
Mm.
he's a good one.
yeah. I love the fact
Yeah.
that they released these two together. Right? You got
Mhm.
ARC Trooper. I mean, 5.
Lives, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that scene too, where when we thought Echo died, right? Um,
It's just
but
nice
yeah,
because it just doesn't seem like a recast and repaint, like, there's enough distinct about him that you don't
yeah,
feel like it's just a money grab.
yeah. Like you see, like the little tattoo there, like the goatee. Yeah, they are definitely different, but man, they're
Even the
killing it with it.
paintwork on their
Mm-hmm.
armor is very different to where it doesn't
Yeah.
look like you have, 5 of the same ones sitting on the shelf.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. No, this is good, man. Congrats to anyone that's picking up these troopers, or you have all of them. I just I could see collectors getting one of each, but I just can't understand why collectors will like want. Oh, I got a trooper build. Trooper build? Like how many troopers are you looking to buy? Like 50? Like that's.
Yeah, I remember
I mean,
seeing somebody, I can't remember what group it was in, but it was
mhm,
Anakin walking and he had like
mhm.
10 501st behind
Of a
him.
first, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a little different, right? Because you're recreating a key scene from
Hmm.
Return
Yeah,
of the, or Revenge of the Sith. So I could see that. But what's
yeah.
up, Sharp?
What's up, Scott? Um, yeah, and you know what too? It's crazy. Like how far Hot Toys has come in terms of like the products that they've been releasing. Even Sideshow and even some of these other companies. There's way too many options now, and as much as I love it because more for us to talk about in our show, but also more options. If now we're getting to the 1/3 scale route, like oh my gosh,
Mhm.
like who's got the room for a 1/3 scale? Is the 1/3 scale something you're looking into to collecting as well, Jason, or you're not even gonna like touch that
No,
around?
it's for me, it's about having kind of more volume in a certain scale. So I stick to
Mhm.
1/6 and
Yeah,
quarter scale. I love them, like that Darth Maul PCS. I mean,
yeah.
it's incredible, but yeah, it just would look out of place in my collection because I don't have anything else at the same scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, yet. I'm still waiting for Blitzway to announce their supposedly they're releasing an Anakin in their Black Label line.
Oh,
And
well,
yeah, and I don't know if you've seen that Black Label line, they just
but
released
no.
the Michael Jackson. I'll pull it up. The Michael Jackson one, and that Michael Jackson looks amazing. Um but yeah, this is the Darth Maul.
And
Um
it's reasonable. I mean, this thing's like what, $1,700 for
yeah, for 1/3 scale.
light
Yeah.
up? Yeah, I mean, it's
Mhm.
and I've seen their third scale and quarter scale in person at different cons, and I mean, the paint has gotten a lot better. The sculpts are amazing. So
Yeah.
price to value is really high.
Yeah, here's the Black Label one, this is Michael Jackson. This is their, final production piece,
No
right? So
kidding.
you got yeah, so you got like, the tailored socks.
Does it come with a dose of propofol? A little white milk?
Maybe, but,
Is that the
yeah,
special edition?
yeah, that's, like, exclusive edition.
Wow.
Yeah, but look, you got rooted hair. I mean, this looks
Damn.
phenomenal.
Damn.
Like, if they're doing an Anakin in this type of, like, quality,
Wow.
oh,
Looks
man, it's
just like
so
Diana Ross.
God, jeez.
Why'd
But
they do Thriller? Why this version?
Yeah.
I know.
Or Billie
Smooth
Jean or Beat
Billie
It, one of
Jean.
them two. That's what I was expecting was
Captain
Billie
EO.
Jean. When I saw
Yeah,
the black pants and the white socks, I thought Billie Jean.
Are they
yeah.
the same ones that are doing the 1/6 Dune characters with rooted
No,
hair?
that's in art.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's in art, yeah. Because that it looked very similar to that,
yeah.
which are incredible.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for their announcement for Anakin, so we'll go from there.
That'd be
But
cool.
yeah, man, it's crazy, how far collecting has come through. And I always tell everyone like, it's cool that like how in terms of Star Wars collecting, a lot of these how it has evolved in the past 10 years, should I say, with Hot Toys, with statues, with so many other things. I'm waiting for people to make silicone busts, right, of like Han
Mhm.
Solo and Luke Skywalker. I know some people custom make it, but in
Mhm.
terms
Sure.
of a mass produced piece, I'm sure that's on the horizon somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
But
With 3D printing and just covering in silicone, yeah, the options are endless, and as my boy Evan likes to say, it's an embarrassment of riches that we have so many options. as collecting
Yeah,
nowadays.
but I always encourage people to watch that show, Golden Collecting, on
I haven't seen it.
Netflix. Yeah, and basically there are a lot of sports collectors, and they're it's a good show, and they just kind of explore collecting in general, whether you're collecting video games, sports memorabilia, anything in general. Uh, in the show, they explain, like, in the height of COVID, where people had nothing to do, that's when it attracted new
Blew
collectors.
up, yeah.
That's when collecting blew up.
Mhm.
Right now, we're seeing a downfall, and I know you talk you talked about comics earlier. Now we're seeing, like, all those, like, newbie collectors that came in, start buying CGC graded books. Now
Sure,
those
sure.
CGC graded books are, like, on a downward spiral. Like, it's losing a lot of value. I think was it the first issue of Superman or something, or Batman, or whatever the case, right? Like the first appearance of Batman, that book went down. It's less than 1 million now, or something like that. I
Mm,
forgot, but
mm.
it's across the board. So it makes you think that, like, if collecting statues will get back to where, the value's back up again, and
Yeah, I
even with
mean,
Hot Toys.
it depends on your purpose for collecting. We were talking about this on Spice Runners a few weeks ago. It's like
Mhm,
none of us in that group, and again, if your motivation is resale value at some point, totally cool.
mhm,
Um, we were talking, and for us, it's like we don't count on that. I don't
mhm.
count on my son loving any of these things, because I can
Yeah.
tell you when he comes up here, he doesn't. He's like, that's cool. He'll probably sell it as soon as I kick the bucket or become one with the living force. But that's not why I buy it. I don't buy it for the
Yeah.
resale value or its appreciation. It's just because I appreciate it now, not what it's gonna appreciable market value.
Oh,
10 years from now, it's just something that
King of Collectibles.
King
Yeah.
collectibles. Yeah,
Yeah. Definitely
yeah.
recommend that show, just because, whatever you're saying, a lot of those collectors went through. They're like, I'm not selling that. I'm not selling that. But then
Mhm.
they collect more things, and then it's
It's when
like,
you start having stuff that you don't remember that you have, and it's probably time to start selling.
yes, there's this guy. He's a collector. He collects, like, game worn used jerseys and shoes and stuff like that. I think he has,
Okay.
like, the biggest collection in the world, right? And I guess, like, long story short is that, like, it got to a point where he had too many, and, same thing, like you said, "Oh, I'm not looking to sell it at some point," but then he had to, because he got too much,
Sure.
right? And obviously you want a return on your investment. And yes, I mean, he definitely got his return on his
Yeah.
investment.
But it's like comic speculation in the 90s, right? When Jim
Yeah.
Lee and Liefeld and J.
Mhm.
Scott Campbell, it's like everybody thought they were going to be millionaires because they were buying these variant covers, and they just flooded and
Yeah.
oversaturated the market. And, people
Mhm.
saw the drop out there. And similar thing with, collectibles that we have. It's so hard to speculate nowadays what's going to sell fast, be a certain edition size, and what's going
Yeah.
to be rare and valuable in the future. You just don't know.
No one, uh, would have thought that an Ayla Sakura premium format would fetch $3,000 if,
Yeah.
unopened, right? That's how much
Mhm.
it goes for. You're like, "What?"
Yeah, the edition size on that had to be pretty low. Yeah.
Yeah, or even the Gamorrean Guard, the Mythos Gamorrean Guard.
That Mythos thing is sick.
But it's always nice to know, like, if you hold, like, a collectible and you're like, "Wait, what? How much it cost?"
Mhm.
It makes you think,
Mm.
like, "Should I sell it?" You know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at Anthony's background. Like, what happens, Anthony, like, okay, what collectible wouldn't you sell ever? Just because, it's just hold
Yeah,
dear
I don't know.
to sen
Mine.
We said this before, and it's like probably either my life size Han and Carbonite or
Mhm.
the Bespin Gantry, maybe.
Okay. Okay, the Bespin Gantry, alright, you won't sell it, but
But
someone
if
off
somebody come up to me and offered an obscene amount of money, then I probably would get rid of it. I probably would not sell it because I think it looks so awesome. But also, when I ordered it, the part that Luke would stand on came in broke.
Mm.
And then he sent me another one. That one came in broke. And so I basically just had to like epoxy it back together, and it's held. I haven't had any problems with it. But I wouldn't want to deal with like selling it to somebody unless it was somebody that was within driving distance to where we could like
Pick it up.
meet
Yeah.
up. Yeah. Because it would be a nightmare to ship it. You know, in all likelihood, something would probably break.
But you know, speaking of breaking, right? Like, you know, you would think like, oh, if something's broken, no one's gonna pay for it. I'll tell you a really quick story about. I don't know if you guys remember the Picasso painting in that Steve Wynn owned. It was called the Dream Picasso painting. I forgot what it was called.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Right? And remember, like the owner of the Mets wanted to buy that painting because I think Steve Wynn might have bought it for $50 million, and then the owner of the Mets was like, "Hey, I'll give you $80 million for that," because he's a big, huge Picasso painting collector. And he was like, "Oh, okay, great, all right, I'll you know, I will put it up for I mean, I'll give it to you, but I want to hold a party and say my last goodbyes to it before I ship it off." I don't know if you heard this story. You can look it up, but
no, I haven't heard it.
But long story short, he was holding his party. All these celebrities were here, Brad Pitt, whatever, and he was gonna like hold a toast, and then accidentally, I think he fell backwards, and he actually tore the damn painting. Okay, but there's more. So long story short, like he was bummed about it. Obviously, he didn't sell it to Steve Wynn. I mean, to the owner of the Mets at the time. But what he did was he sent it to a master restoration artist, like. And you know, he did his research and was like, oh, he looked at like, oh, what type of material, what type of thing to thread it, and he like he spent 5 years restoring that.
Oh
thing.
wow!
But guess what? He said that he restored it. It's in the news articles and blah blah blah. Guess who heard that it's restored? The owner of the Mets. Do you think he would have paid what he was asking for? Or what he originally like was.
Did he buy it for what he originally had?
No, more.
Yeah.
$137 million.
Damn.
And Steve Wynn was like, "What? Sure, you take it." and he's gonna like obviously do a better job. He's not gonna have like a go away party, I'm sure. But you know what Steve Wynn asked the owner of the Mets, like, "Why did you want to buy it? It's broken. It has all this damage. You know, if you turn the painting backwards, it has like all these like stitching and all these things." The owner of the Mets was like, because it has history. It's that story behind that whole thing. That's what makes it more valuable to me. Crazy, right?
Yeah. Adding to the lineage of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes back to like, some of the things that, Tom Spina does on the side and restore some of these great pieces, whether it be Star Wars pieces or props, original props or whatever, or even like some of the original props from some of these other movies.
Yeah.
But my main point is that when it comes to Star Wars sideshow statues, restoring that thing, no one ain't paying more.
No, but it's a point about it. It's all art, right? And it is all fragile. Art. And I mean, you talked about things that you've received or Anthony's received, and all this stuff over time. It's going to need some restoration. We talked about things being held up on pegs, and I'm looking at Anthony, your Mythos Fader back there, that cape. I'm thinking about over time, is it going to lean? I mean, these things are not in perpetuity going to be, perfection. It's and art never is. It's not meant to be.
Yeah.
So like even
it's going to take love and care and curation.
My Plo Koon, I was moving stuff around, and I moved his saber, and it broke. And so I was able to, when I had some free time, I delicately was able to get the saber, the blade out, and then I pulled the bulb out, put a new bulb in. There was enough wire to where I could actually make it work. And I was able to fix it and epoxy the blue housing, the plastic housing that protects the blade. You know, but like, I mean, that stuff's going to happen, you know. But like,
Yeah,
I bought the
that's
Shop
fine.
T from somebody in one of the groups. The lightsaber did not light up. I bought it for $700, and they were
Wow.
going for 2,500 or
Mhm.
something, like on eBay.
I think the cheapest I've seen it, besides what you bought it for, was 1,500.
Yeah.
You know, without anything
Yeah.
broken.
And
But
I think I know why it doesn't light up. It lit up for me one time. I think I know what it is. I think it's the button on the back. And I need to have, like, I don't know, a rainy day or something like that when I don't have anything to do, and take it apart and see if I can't bypass the button to make it work. But I think I can probably make it work because the bulb's not burnt out.
yeah.
Nice.
But you know what's crazy? You know, we're gonna wrap things up here, but it's just basically, you know, I know, like for me at least, like my wife supports, like, you know, me collecting, but sometimes she sees it like, oh, there's too much. I'm like, I'm not the only one. Listen, you got millionaires and billionaires doing the same thing. It's like all walks of life, collecting, and that's what I love about collecting Star Wars, whether it be prints or even statues, or even, you know,
Mhm.
sometimes I'll dabble into hot toys, but it's a community which, you know, we're all here, we're all part of, which I love, absolutely love, right? Because collecting by yourself can be very lonely. You know, when I first started collecting, I was collecting Hot Toys figures, well, Marvel figures at the time, and I remember I felt weirded out brushing Black Widow's hair, and like and
Well,
I
it depends
remember,
on where you were doing that activity. Was it in your collection room, or was it while you were like
oh yeah,
sitting in
that I
bed
will,
just before bedtime?
I'll disclose it before, I mean, you know, in the after the show is done. But no, but I was just like brushing it, and I'm like, I looked up
Yeah.
and I'm like, I gotta stop this. I'm not collecting any more Marvel figures. But anyway, long story short, yeah, it's great, man. That's why I encourage people to watch some of these like shows or read some of these like articles, because it's just very encouraging. Because, you know, you're like, man, is this normal to collect?
Some
Right?
people have Zen gardens. Some people have bonsai plants.
Yeah.
Whatever brings you peace in your
Yes.
own time of solace and solidarity. Hey,
Mhm.
more power to you.
Yeah. But yeah, but you know, before we go, just want to say thank you to Jason, aka Dewback Deliveries. Please check out his Instagram.
Thanks for having
Uh,
me.
yeah, pleasure, Jason. Thank you for hopping on the show, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And
man.
also, Anthony. Oh man, I love when you go on your rants, man. I
Hey, man,
love it.
good hanging with you.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've hopped on and commented in Spice Runners, and it's been cool to actually hang out and shoot the shit with you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Always welcome the Aunt Nizzle, as Sean likes to say.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, Sean, we miss you, and he'll be back next week. And yeah, we'll be back next week, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys for watching.
PM, right? Not AM, right?
Not AM. Sorry about that, guys. Not AM. I'm getting old. But yeah, guys, thank you guys again. May the midichlorians be with you guys always and forever. Take care. Peace.
Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.